TRVL. What's going on with my beloved token, TRVL? Well, if you don't know what TRVL is and you're here for the first time and you're like wondering what the hell is he talking about, I'm going to quickly describe it to you now. This is Dtravel. I don't work for them. I'm just an enthusiastic person, original gangster, early adopter. Dtravel is a peer-to-peer vacation rental booking application, yeah, decentralized. And so if you go to Dtravel, you can search, and just like Airbnb, you can look for a destination. So I usually go to Costa Rica or whatever, Dubai, whatever. Let's search somewhere new. Maybe Rome. Let's see if Rome has any places. Go for a week. Couple of adults, maybe one child. And no results. You see that? So we're that's embarrassing, but it's not really embarrassing. It just shows you that we're small and we haven't really exploded yet. Let me do somewhere else. Let me try Athens. So here in Athens, we have 27 results, except one of them is in America. So 26. And except they're not all in Athens. So I don't know why it's done that. Athens, Greece. So anyway, I mean, you can clearly see what it is. You find an apartment, you click on it, and it sends you to their direct booking site. Okay, so you kind of cut out Airbnb and you're now into their booking site, which is hosted by Dtravel. And here, you can, just like Airbnb, you can view their property, the gallery. You can contact them directly. You don't have to go through Airbnb. You don't have to hide your oh, actually it's going to WhatsApp. Forget about that. You don't have to hide anything. You can just contact them. The numbers there, their email, etc. And then here, if you're interested, if it's available, you can reserve it. And it's a peer-to-peer reservation. It's a peer-to-peer booking. So you're doing a transaction directly with the operator host of this property without the third-party intermediary, booking.com or Airbnb. And what's great is you can also pay using crypto. So you can save money on the credit card fees, but also you save money because it means that the host operators can pass on the savings from Airbnb to the guest. And so Airbnb charges 15% plus tax. I think booking.com is about 20% plus tax. And you can save that. You can save it. Either the host can make more money or the guest can save more money. So it's one or the other, or a combination of both. I have my own direct booking site, which I've had on Dtravel now for 3 years. It's this, Direct Stay London. I've got my own domain name, but it's hosted by Dtravel, and anyone can do that. And here you can view my properties in London, and you can just directly book. You can contact me, message me. You can directly book here. You don't have to book through Airbnb. And if you are curious, you can also go and view my Airbnb profile just to see who I am. And see here, you can see that I'm a 4.99 star rating super host, almost 10 years on Airbnb with 183 reviews. And so you can see that I have a profile. And so when I'm telling people about Dtravel, I'm talking about something that I understand and know about. But what's more, and this is the real important part, if I go to my back end, I have to find where my back end is. I might have to log into it. Let me see if it's logged in already. Otherwise, I have to log into it. Yeah, it's already logged in. So over the last 3 years that I've been on Dtravel, I've completed 34 direct bookings, and I've made $65,000, just a shade under $65,000 worth of realized earnings.
Congrats.
On direct bookings. All right. This is separate from Airbnb. Separate. This is direct bookings, people who just want to book directly. And so I've actually proven the model works. I've proven
100%.
that
Completely right. You completely right. You have proof of concept.
I have proof of concept. I've proven the model. I've been on it for 3 years. I've got an amazing Airbnb profile, so I've got a track record, and I've got my properties on my site, and I've shown that it works. And here, this is an interesting site. This is our real world network stats, and so we've been monitoring these stats since the beginning of 2003, so March 2023, and you can see that our operator signups. You can see now that we have over 10,500 operator host signups. We're in 1,209 cities. We're in 139 countries. We have at the moment on our network 5,302 listings. So we're still small, but we're growing. Okay. So if you think about the beginning, and this is what people don't realize, that I was the first one. My property was the first one. So we transacted the first short-term rental booking using the blockchain on my property 3 years ago. You see that? There it is.
Wow, that's so admirable, bro.
You see that?
I love it. It's so wonderful.
See that? Amir Sajadi.
Honestly, super, super
Thank you.
admirable.
Appreciate that. So since then, we've grown. So I was basically the first number one, but not really number one. It's probably number 5 or something, the first handful. But I did the first booking. So since then, if you look at the stats, and this is what I've been talking about to people, it's gone from one listing, which is my one, to 5,300 listings worldwide.
Incredible.
Okay.
And the concept is just really good because, as you say, it's right. Airbnb and even VRBO that belongs to Expedia charges way more fees. And in these platforms, they charge you, the commission plus the guest fee, which is also their commission.
Correct.
Right. And here you can pay in crypto and bypass the processing transaction fees. That is another 3 to 6%.
Correct.
So it's just wonderful.
Amazing, huh?
Yeah.
And so here you can see Dtravel has processed $1.3 million worth of transactions to date. Wow. Average booking value is $828. And you can see that we've got a quarter-on-quarter growth, but it hasn't exploded yet. So what you're seeing right now is a very gentle, steady incline, a directly proportional incline. We haven't actually gone exponential yet. And
I mean, you're in the road. You're in the right path, definitely.
We're going to explode. Yeah, it's going to happen. And so going back to the booking, hold on, which one was it? So when you want to book a site, again, you can pay using crypto, and currently you can accept Tether, USDC. So Tether is on the Tron network.
Wonderful, very little fees.
USDC, this is on Base, so on Coinbase, Ethereum layer 2.
That's the new
one. Yeah.
That how it's called, this wallet from the US.
Yeah, that one.
Coinbase.
The Coinbase one.
Yeah.
The CB wallet. Yeah.
That blockchain is very interesting. It's Ethereum based, as you
It's
say.
Ethereum layer 2.
Fees.
Yeah.
It hasn't exploded yet, but a lot of good projects that I've seen there. Coins, very, very interesting base.
So we were actually our base, our chain is our blockchain is using Base.
That's very advanced, actually, because Base is kind of recent.
It's recent.
It's not like yesterday.
No.
From all these blockchains from big corporations, is fairly new, so that's wonderful.
We're on Matic, which is a layer 2 on ETH. TRVL, you can save 10% if you pay using TRVL. That's on Base. ETH is on ETH. And now we've also started to accept Coinbase Bitcoin, which is a wrapped Bitcoin, but it's on the Base chain. It's really important to be on Base, and I don't think people realize how important it is, because in the future, when Coinbase expands, they'll be looking at projects which are built on the Base chain first. And so we're not on Coinbase yet, but that does give us a real opportunity to, as we grow in size, to in the future be listed on Coinbase. And so that's a real incentive for the future. So this is basically Dtravel. I think a lot of people are interested. They should go to the Dtravel site. There's a lot of information there about the roadmap, the ecosystem, etc. And You can learn a lot. Some of it is slightly out of date, and the reason why is because the leadership has changed, okay? And this is a really good thing. It's a really good thing because, and I'll explain why. It's really good that the leadership's changed, because sometimes, you know, you have to change the leadership to get new ideas, fresh vision. And when some people, you know, real world life problems occur, they don't have the same amount of time they used to, then it's actually good to change the leadership rather than just trying to keep the old faces in. But if you go to the Dtravel X page, you can see how active they are. We had, see here, they make an announcement at CBBTC. We had 10,000 room nights booked. That was on August the 18th. So you can see we're growing, huh? We're growing, we're growing, we're growing. And what's interesting about TRVL on the charts, so now I'm going to go to the charts, is that if you look at the higher time frame, we've only gone down in price. And a lot of people are curious, why? Why have we only gone down in price while the business and the tech has been amazing, okay? And I've talked about these in my videos. I give reasons why the price has only gone down. There are many reasons why, okay? I think the most fundamental reason why is that we still haven't exploded onto the real world stage, onto the world stage. Yeah, we're still a small network. We've got 5,300 properties, listings. And fundamentally, I think what we need is about 25,000 to start making a real impact. That would be about 200 properties per country. And so naturally, when you look at the Dtravel app, you can see that there are some countries which have no properties, like El Salvador, where I am now. Okay, so I'm in El Salvador. And one of the reasons why I came to El Salvador is because I wanted to change this, where you search for El Salvador and no results in this area. It makes no sense, because El Salvador is becoming a crypto hotspot, crypto destination. It's also a really beautiful place, holiday destination, surf destination, mountains, volcanoes, lakes, waterfalls. And you can see that there's no listings, and actually there's hundreds and hundreds of Airbnbs, maybe more. And it's not hard for people to be on Airbnb and Dtravel, because I've shown that it's possible. I'm on Airbnb, I'm on Dtravel, and I'm on booking.com. I'm on all three, okay? And it's not mutually exclusive. You don't have to be on one and not the other. You can be on all of them. The calendars sync. That's not a problem. And so for a place like El Salvador, where there's a transaction fee for Airbnb, plus maybe a bank transfer fee, maybe credit card fees, there's lots of fees. And here, the value of money is a lot higher than in other countries. And so the small dollars matter. I think there's a real opportunity in Central South America, but starting here in El Salvador, to grow the Dtravel network. And I think in the future, when you get like 200 more in every single country in the world, then what you end up with is a really usable search engine network. One where people will search on Airbnb and then they'll search on Dtravel to find it cheaper, or you'll end up with AI agents and AI apps who will just search when you say, find me the cheapest property, just like you do with flights on ChatGPT. You'll end up doing the same thing with vacation rentals, and the AI apps will go and search, and they'll just find you the Dtravel listing, direct booking listing, which will be the cheapest one. Okay, so that's the future. And so you can see that we haven't actually broken out yet. We're still early. And when you look at the token price, again, going back to why has the token dropped so much? This is a long conversation as to the why, okay? And it's not really relevant so much because we've seen some real big changes in leadership, okay? And that's had you can see that we're bottoming out here. For a lot of people who don't know me or have never seen me before, don't know who I am, I am quite active in the Dtravel Telegram. I'm going to show you now. And basically, I predicted the bottom. Let me see if I can find out. Let me find out where I wrote it. I have to search on, there it is, here. I was having a conversation on Telegram with other people in Dtravel, and we're having a little bit of an argument, and forget about the argument because water under the bridge. But here I wrote, there's no quick recovery, and we'll bottom out, we'll bottom on the 3rd week of April. On the 3rd week of April. Just watch that, okay? And if you look at the chart, we bottomed out on the 14th, between the 14th of April and the 21st of April. Do you see that?
Yes.
So in February, I predicted that that's when we're going to bottom out, okay? And then what else is interesting? So I don't think it's luck. People might think, oh, he's so lucky. Because I took a break from my streams, and there's a little bit of history there. But when I restarted my live streams again, yeah. If I go back to my first restart, it was 5 months ago, 1 month ago. Here it is. And you'll see that I started my stream on the 6th of July, 2025. Okay. And if you look at the daily chart on TRVL, you'll see that the 6th of July is there.
Sick analysis. Wow.
And
very accurate.
The price is, since then, the price is up 107% since I restarted my...
Insane.
You see that? So I predicted the bottom in the 3rd week. Actually, I was slightly off. It was a bit earlier. It doesn't really matter. And then I restarted my live streams again at the bottom, telling people, buy the fucking token. You know, this is a good place, good time. So I'm not trying to blow my trumpet. I'm just trying to say that I know a few things about some things. Do your own research, not financial advice. And I really feel that this token is a really good opportunity for the reasons I explained fundamentally, but also I'll explain something technical. And so I am very technical when it comes to the charts. And basically what I'm looking at is fib time. A lot of people don't really use or understand fib time. And I talk about fib time a lot, but not a lot because most people don't understand it. I just have to find the right one. Where are you, fib time? I'm going to go to my MEXC chart. Which one is that? Is that the one? Yeah. If I go to my MEXC chart. Oh my God, I've got lots of brush strokes. Let me get rid of them. This is when I do crazy shit.
You got the fib time.
So what we have, so what I'm imagining with TRVL from the initial launch, which was at the end of 2021, basically November 2021, the price of TRVL went up to $1.56. That was the all-time high. And then we've seen this crazy correction. And what I'm imagining is that this correction is a higher time frame WXY correction without the initial impulse. Yeah, we have a launch price of 9 cents, and what's happened since then is it's gone up to $1.56, which was the all-time high. It's come all the way down to the all-time low back in April, a shade under 0.5 cent or around 0.5 cent. And what's interesting is that when you do a fib pool from the all-time high till the all-time low, the 50 fib lands perfectly at the token launch price at 9 cents, which is our SR flip, our support resistance flip. So there's quite strong technical confluence on these levels. And to me, that suggests that this is probably the bottom. This is probably the bottom, just because of the way the fibs have lined up perfectly with the all-time high and the 50 fib coming in perfectly at 9 cents. If anyone's been following TRVL, you'll know that 9 cents was our crazy strong resistance area and support area. And that was also the launch price on all the centralized exchanges. So since then, what we've done is we've done a massive WXY, which this is what I'm imagining, a big WXY. And based on fib time, that's how I was able to predict the bottom in April, because my 1.16 and my 1-to-1 here, there was a confluence of fib time, and that gave me roughly that area of the bottom. And the reason why I was confident about that is because the previous fib time gave me the top, the previous fib time gave me the bottom, the previous fib time gave me the top. So these fib times are playing out perfectly. And so while they play out perfectly, you just have to flow with them. Yeah, you just can't ignore them. And so naturally, the next fib time that I have is the end of December. And there's a confluence of fib time somewhere in the last 2 weeks of December. So what I'm thinking right now is that we're just going to work our way up and up and up and up and up and up until we pivot. And in the context of this token, my target for a lower high is 17.5 cents, which would be the golden pocket. We just have to see what the volume is like, and we just have to see how the price ascends. That wouldn't be a place to buy, that would be a place to sell, but it would be quite bullish, even though on the higher time frame it's potentially a lower high. Yeah, it'd be quite bullish, because what you're actually experiencing in the context of, say, this pivot here is some kind of V-shaped recovery, and V-shaped recoveries are bullish. Yeah, and it might not go up to 17.5 cents. It might just quite easily reject at 9 cents again for a lower high, slightly lower down at the 50 fib. It would still be a V-shaped recovery in this context. But the thing is, if you do get a V-shaped recovery here, then you need to hold the 50 fib as support. And in this context, if I imagine 9 cents being resistance, then the 50 fib would basically give us the previous all-time low, roughly at around 2 cents, which is correct, because for a V-shaped recovery, you don't want the price to go down below the 50 fib. That's kind of where it goes down to break out, to continue, and that's really bullish. But a V-shaped recovery would only be valid if you were able to take out the pivot highs there. I think conservatively, this is what I'm looking at. A rally all the way up to 9 cents. And I'm not saying that we're not going to find resistance. And this is the thing, people are freaking out, because what happens is that you get really strong fluctuations in price, because it is a low market cap token. It's relatively illiquid. And so naturally, you know, when people sell and market buy, the price can go up and down quite significantly. Like, look, it went down 3% in the last hour and it's back up. 3% is quite a lot. Yeah. And when you get these kind of big market buys, the price goes up 14%. So you get these quite significant swings that can scare people, because they're like, oh my God, my portfolio is up 20%. Oh my God, it's down 28%. Oh my God, it's up 50%. What shall I do? Shall I buy? So, you know, like, it freaks people out. I think the best thing to do when you're looking at TRVL is just focus a little bit on the higher time frame. Try not to make your decisions based on lower time frame candles. Look at the higher time frame. And also you're looking at higher time horizons as well. Because right now, I'm not really contemplating to sell unless we get to maybe 3 cents, which is the previous point of control, the previous range point of control, which also corresponds with some kind of, potentially some kind of fib level. And so you're kind of looking for confluence. It's always about confluence. So if you do a fib pull from the pivot high to the all-time low, you've got a perfect alignment of the previous range point of control with the golden pocket there. You have pretty strong confluence of resistance there. And if the price does manage to go up and up, however it gets there, and reject, that's your sign, that's your signal to sell or to take profit. Yeah, because you have a reaction. Now, the reason why you don't sell into that, because the price can also do that. So if you preset sells and the price just goes up like there's no tomorrow, then you messed up, because you preset. You always wait for the reaction, and the reaction will be, you'll see it, it'll be like bam. You might lose 5 or 10%, but at least you're waiting for the reaction, because if the price goes up, then it's up another 50% or something like that, you know. And so we don't, the thing about the price action is no one knows. You can never know. It's always a balance of probabilities, always, yeah. And so that's why you wait for the reaction, because it improves your chances, all right? But I think on Dtravel TRV, I'm really bullish on this. If anyone's been watching my videos, you'll know that I'm really bullish. And looking at these candles, remember I said last month, I said at the beginning of this month, I said this is a really bullish candle. If you watch my videos, that was a really bullish candle. It was a piercing candle. And remember what I said? The volume was really high volume. And look, this month we've got increasing volume. You see that? So already this month we have increasing prices, increasing volume. That is bullish price action. Increasing prices, increasing volume is bullish. And we're not looking at lower time frame. We're looking at the higher time frame. So right now I'm already seeing bullish price action. I am wondering if next month we get another green month, to be honest with you. It's actually on my mind. September, another green month. We have to see how that plays out. We have this 2-month candle. Look, we've got the most volume in a 2-month candle on MEXC ever. Do you see that? So we've got quite nice volume here. Let me go to the combined chart to see what the volume is like across all of the different charts. Look at that. This is the 3-month chart, and we have the most volume in the history of TRVL in this candle. And the 3-month candle is not even over yet. We've still got 1 month and 7 days to go. This is really bullish, guys. This is really bullish. I can't tell you. In the 6-month candle, we've already got as much volume as the previous 6-month candle. Yeah. So we have really, really strong volume at these prices. And it kind of affirms what I've been saying, that I think this is the bottom. I think we're creating a bottom here. And what I was talking about a lot was this inverse head and shoulders. So let's just go to the inverse head and shoulders idea. If I haven't deleted it. Knowing me, I've probably deleted it, which means I'll just have to draw it out. No, there it is. Is that it? There you go. So I've been monitoring this inverse head and shoulders idea since July the 6th, when we were all the way down here. And it's trying to play out. It's trying to play out. We took out that high, which was a weekly market structure change to bullish. We came back lower for support. And the question now is this right shoulder. How is this right shoulder forming? Let me just delete these lines now and get rid of them. Let me go to a slightly higher time frame. Maybe even slightly higher. So what I was originally talking about was the possibility of a mini left shoulder, a complicated head. And now this is the question. Is this right shoulder now formed? And the only way to know is with a high volume break of the neckline. That's the only way to know. What we would need is a break. Bam. Higher high. That would be continuation of bullish market structure. Maybe a black back test. And then if we do manage that, then I would say in this context, the target is 3 cents. So from the current price, target's probably around 170% increase in value from the current price if we get this price action. Now, I just want to make people aware that this right shoulder may not be complete yet. Okay, we don't know. It's possible that it's possible it's kind of something else. It's a more of a weirder right shoulder. But what we don't want, and I just want to make people aware of this, what we don't want is that. That would start to look a bit problematic, because it would then look like we can't even get back up to the high there. And now if we come and take out this low, it could start to look bearish again. If you get that, then you're probably looking at something slightly different, maybe some kind of flat top triangle, some kind of wedge, something else. Okay, we'd have to evaluate that if and when that happened. I can't predict that. No one knows. I just want to make people aware that I don't really want to see the price now come and take out these lows. And in the context of the volume, I really don't want to see the price lose this local point of control. It is possible in this context, and just to make you aware, that we come back for a test of the value area high here. Like I said, a more, not a straightforward right shoulder, a little bit more of a complicated right shoulder, just like we had a complicated head. And then in that context, what you could possibly do is you could just kind of do a little mini trend line there, like that. Could we come back down just to test the value area high, back test this trend line again for another push up? Yeah. And we'd have to we'd have to see the selling continuously decrease and the buying to increase. Yeah. So at the moment it's looking quite good, but what we need through that neckline is a strong break with volume, maybe with a back test. But in crypto, you rarely get back tests if the price starts to move, and then we're going to pump up to 3 cents. That's kind of my target. And then we can reevaluate. We can reevaluate the charts and then see what happens next. But a move to 3 cents would be really bullish, because you're getting back into the range, the overall range. That's the range. And if you can move up to 3 cents, you're back in the range. To reclaim a range is bullish. And then this whole thing becomes a deviation from the range. That would be bullish. And then all you need to do in the future is just hold 2 cents as support. If you can hold 2 cents as support, then you're probably pumping to higher prices, probably. That's kind of the highest probability. If you can break in back into the range and then hold 2 cents as support, then you're looking to go much higher. Yeah. So that's TRVL. If anyone's interested in TRVL, then the Telegram channel is there for you. No more arguments, I promise. Not from me anyway. But there's a lot of things going on there. Have a look. You can see buying, new booking process. You can see what properties are booking, new buys, new users, new buys, buy, new users, new booking process. Do you see there's activity, new users? If you're interested in the announcements, Andrea, she posts stuff here. And so now she's posting a lot about Coinfest Asia. That's where she is. And she's there representing Dtravel at Coinfest Asia. So that's a real achievement for us to be represented there. And obviously, there's a TRVL channel. You can talk about the price action. And that's everything to do with Dtravel. Feel free to come on and chat. I always chat. And if you're interested, you can also come onto my YouTube channel. I have too many videos, but I'll show you. So far I have, if you look at my playlists, I'll mute that, I'll stop that.
And one of those things is
what did I do?
Importantly.
Oh my God, what did I do? Whatever. I've got 237 videos on TRVL and Dtravel. It's too many. Huh? I don't know.
Nothing beats consistency and persistence.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, that's Dtravel.